Perito cubano peleador. Yordenis Ugas.
Para todos los cubanos, Yordenis.
Salud, salud, ¿cómo va la cosa?
Todo está mal.
La raza muerta.
¿Está bien ahí?
Así, tiene que tocarlo. Yeah.
Is it weight or
Ay, Marco, ¿cómo estás?
¿Cómo estás?
¿Cómo estás?
¿Cómo andas?
Todo bien ahí. Cambiamos eso, vamos.
Qué bueno, qué bueno. Estás en live ahorita.
You know, déjame entrenar. Nuevamente hoy aquí con Spence Jr.
He's gonna do his interviews in the ring, dude. Just so you know.
We're just shooting. Yeah.
How does he do against that?
I gotta keep it on the schedule. I have a schedule.
Okay,
that's fine.
¿Cuántas semanas más? ¿3?
2:30.
No.
Magua.
¿Semanas?
Of course, we never look down.
Okay. Pronto.
Let Ugás know the rundown. First thing is next door. Yeah, this is the rundown of how this day is gonna go.
Primero,
He's gonna train first.
He's gonna do one interview first, and then he's gonna come in the ring.
Una entrevista primero y luego empezar. Para el canal de Showtime, claro.
ya, vamos.
What's up, bro?
So I call it the main of 4 seasons. It's good every time. simplemente, you know, no overlook the guy, no underlook the guy, but just keep focused on how to do it.
Thank you. All right, there you go. This was Las Vegas. Thank you so much.
La primero con Ray Flores para la Showtime y luego
No matter what,
más una con
I need him stage walking in Cesaro. Now. Walking in with his back.
estamos entrando, sí, si quieres
Vamos allá.
salir una vez y entrar más para la cama.
Sí, todo bien.
¿Quieren grabar antes que te cambie?
Y las venas ya están puestas ahí.
Ya están
I'm saying you don't want to talk on air. They were like, you give Shawn more to talk to. Sam Jackson asked me because he said he told me that you were going to be here. So, sorry. We'll knock that out. I'm going to give you a whisper.
Jake, I'm gonna cue him in, so just be prepared.
How's your son doing?
Let me know. I'll be right here.
45 seconds.
Lots of them, man.
Arsenio. 45 seconds. He walks in.
Okay.
And then he's gonna
40 seconds, right?
Okay. Vamos a entrar y después va con Ray.
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
30 segundos. Just let me know.
25, Ray.
Coming in right now?
What?
Coming in right
He's
now?
gonna come in. I'm gonna.
Okay, let me know.
Do,
7, 6, 5,
4,
3, 2.
1.
Vente, Ugás.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to
Yes,
the
come in.
Showtime Sports YouTube page. As we are here in Las Vegas, Nevada, for the workout of the WBA welterweight champion of the world, Yordenis Ugas, on Saturday, April 16th on Showtime Pay-Per-View. You will see, for the 12th time in welterweight history, unification, as 3 world titles will be on the line. The WBA champion puts his crown on the line against the WBC and IBF welterweight champion of the world, Errol Spence Jr. It all comes your way on Saturday, April 16th, AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Tickets are still available. You can get them at SeatGeek.com. This event presented by Premier Boxing Champions and promoted by TGB Promotions and Man Down Promotions. We have a loaded card from top to bottom. We will get to that after we talk with this man, Yordenis Ugas. Yordenis, great to see you. Un placer. Can you tell us about how you are feeling as we are mere a few weeks away until you collide against Errol Spence Jr.?
¿Cómo te sientes sintiendo que es 2 semanas en la pelea?
No, un placer verte siempre y gracias a todos los que vinieron a verme el entrenamiento. Me siento bien, listo para una gran noche de boxeo, listo para una gran pelea.
He said, thank you for everyone for coming out and supporting him, and that he's ready for the fight. He's ready for the fight, April 16th, and he's going to be there ready to give a good show.
What do you take away from the fact that you are fighting in Errol Spence Jr.'s backyard, AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas? He's a major draw out there, but you had no hesitation taking the fight in his hometown.
¿Cómo te sientes tú ir a su casa para él en Dallas? Cuando te llamaron, ¿cómo te sentiste de tú saber que tú lo ibas a pelear en su casa en Dallas allá?
No, he sido un competidor de los 6 años. Estoy feliz y emocionado de ir a Dallas, una gran ciudad con un gran fan, un hermoso estadio. Y estoy feliz de ir a pelear ahí, en ese sitio.
He's happy to be fighting there. You know, he's happy to be in Dallas, where the fans are very emotional. They're great fans there in Texas, and he can't wait to get down.
How has training camp been like as you prepare for the biggest assignment of your career?
¿Cómo ha pasado tu campamento en tu preparando para la pelea más grande de tu vida?
No, un gran campamento, ya salió un gran campamento, siempre dando lo mejor de nosotros, como otras veces, un poco más emocionado esta vez, porque vamos a una pelea histórica de este cinturón.
He's good. The camp has been great, you know, with everything that's going on. Everything's been great with this camp. I mean, he's trained hard and he's ready to go.
All right, well, Eddie, we appreciate you. He's the translator. We're going to let Yordenis Ugas work out. We're going to talk with him after his workout. Also, we're going to speak with Ismail Salas and the members of Yordenis Ugas' team. Welterweight unification on the line, Saturday, April 16th on Showtime pay-per-view. We'll allow Yordenis Ugas to work out. And also, I want to run down the pay-per-view card. Gracias, Yordenis. He's going to get in the ring, but we have a loaded card from top to bottom. Dare I say, this is the best card of 2022.
This is why when I came, I did my transition skills to the test against the determined Santiago. Our main event on Showtime Championship boxing will full pay-per-view. Welterweight champion.
Yeah, I know fighting.
Oh yeah. Please make one.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Thank you.
Open up the pay-per-view.
Cheers. Great.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, what's up, man? I'm sorry, man. I do this. Me and Eddie, come on, Eddie.
Remember me? Eddie?
Good to see
Hi,
you,
man.
man.
What's up, man? How you doing, man? Definitely remember you.
Lost at the hands of Gervonta Davis. They'll go head-to-head against Ugás. That is co-main event. And in our main event of the evening, Yordenis Ugas goes to the backyard of Errol Spence.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Good to see you, my man. When you was a puppy, man.
Lorraine?
Yeah, Lorraine, Ohio, man.
Yeah,
You know what's up, man? Yes.
yeah.
I saw your dad in California recently. He's like, oh, he gave me a big hug and everything. Yeah, I remember you. I was like, I didn't think you would, man.
Yeah, good to
and
see
you
you, man.
remember me, man. So, wow, man. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Good to see you, brother, man. Wow, man.
Yeah, it's
Great
been a minute, right?
Oh, my
Thank
God.
you, man. Thank you.
Love watching you,
Thank
man.
you.
You did great.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, Shawn.
What is this? I came too early. Came too early.
What do you think? You fought Spence, you fought Ugas?
I think this is a great fight. Everybody, you guys don't want to hear that, but that's the truth.
It is a great fight.
Like, that's the truth.
Winner will have all the belts on.
I know, but like, you guys want to know, well, Shawn, you fought them both. Like, who's got the more power, and who's stronger, and who's faster, who's got the better game plan, and better boxer, so on and so forth. I think styles make fights, and we're gonna have a classic case right here of styles making fights. The cool thing I like is that I think Ugás has thrown a little wrinkle in his game, and I'm curious to see what Ugás comes to the ring on fight night. You know,
What wrinkle in it? Yeah.
What's that?
Which
I don't
Ugas
know.
is the best?
Which Ugás is the best?
Yeah, to come in fight night.
So when I say the of course I'm speaking about the Ugás that fought Pacquiao. That Ugás is different from, I would say, any Ugás we've seen before that. That Ugás added more boxing. Was very selective with his punching. Didn't wait too long. Didn't get out hustled by Manny or anything like that at all. He was very smart and picked his moments very, very well. And I think that while Errol is a different boxer, Errol is not Manny Pacquiao. Errol is not going to fight in spurts, or at least we don't expect him to. I think that while, in my personal opinion, the Ugás that fought Pac is the better Ugás of the two, I think it's going to take a mix of both to be Errol. Guys, don't forget, I said it's going to take everything that I have to beat Errol Spence, and that included boxing him from the outside and fighting him on the inside. Clearly, clearly Ugás can do that, you know.
If he counters him the way he did Manny, do you think it's stylistically better for him?
To start?
Yeah.
To start?
Yeah.
You know, because, you know, again, we're talking about EJ. And we're talking about Derrick James. Derrick James is going to see what's going on, and he'll say, all right, do this, do that. And Errol Spence is going to implement the game plan and also the adjustments. So that's why I think this really is. It's one of those great fights. You know, there's been fights in the past where I really didn't want to make predictions because to me it didn't matter who won. I think at the end of the night it was going to be a great night.
What do you think is maybe underrated or overlooked about Yordenis, Shawn?
He showed speed in the fight with Manny. I think maybe that, if anything, that's overlooked. And I think that probably because of Silas, they worked on the jab. He didn't have the jab that he when he fought Manny. He didn't have that jab when he fought me. I think that he's definitely, his boxing skills have come a long way. I think that the intelligence that we saw against Manny, I don't think that was by accident. I think that was, again, Silas implementing game plan, but also you have to go out there and be effective with the game plan. So I'm hyped for this.
Yeah. Just last one from me, Shawn. Is this you like you said, the speed, the power, the strength, but you know, Brook was the one guy on paper as big as Errol was, but that was coming off Triple G. Is this the freshest and strongest full-fledged welterweight Spence is going up against?
Since me? Yeah, since me. And probably one of the biggest and strongest, in the weight class. Yep.
Think smartest, most skilled, also, just given his amateur background.
No. I think that Silas has helped his boxing come a long way, and has I think that Yordenis has intelligence as a fighter, but I think it was based around his way of fighting with that shell boxing style. I think now Silas has opened him up more and, helped him use the whole arsenal.
Only met the size because he's equal in height. Yeah. You definitely had the strength like Errol.
Size never meant anything for me in the ring, but when you got a guy that's straight on looking you now and you haven't really had that consistently, they're smart down there in Texas. They know to get everything in front of Spence before this fight, so it's gonna be a great one.
Thanks.
I'm a fan of Yordenis because he's a really good person, and for me that goes a long ways, goes beyond the boxing. So before getting in the ring with him, I could see his passion. I could see his desire to be exactly where he is right now. So it's one thing to fight against a guy, but then, game recognized game, real recognized real, and outside of the ring, I recognize he's a really good person. So I just really wanted to come see him today. And I didn't know y'all were going to be here until yesterday, so I was like, all right, whatever.
What would you rank out of all the people you faced? Like, Dennis, I know styles are different. It's kind of hard to say who's the toughest. But would you put him like in your top 3, top 4 most toughest opponents that you've been in the ring with?
I think he would be flirting with 3 in terms of in competition. He'd be flirting with 3.
Who's 1 and 2?
1 and 2 are Terrence Crawford and, believe it or not, Keith Thurman.
Oh, wow.
I know a lot of people, you probably would expect me to say Errol Spence Jr., but...
Like, see the power, maybe, or...?
No.
No? Why Thurman so high?
People talk about the intelligence that Errol has. Keith is highly intelligent.
And athletic, too, right?
I would be remiss if I didn't say the Welterweight podcast. He came on and he broke down to me how he broke down the fight before we got in the ring. I'm like, damn,
you were like,
all right, I just got to this level of intelligence. You've been there for a minute. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I feel people forget how good of a fighter Keith was. Because now they just kind of,
Keith's in a position now where I think, if anything, we'll see his intelligence over anything else that he has to offer the boxing game. We love the power, but at some point, if you're not focused on the power, you're not continuing to grow your power and things of that nature. That was Keith's thing, since we were kids. And once that goes away, I've learned that as a pro, watching other pros. When you can't keep up with the hand speed or somebody stronger, here is where you win the fight. You know what I mean? So who do we see do it the most? Bernard Hopkins.
Yeah. Floyd during his time.
Yeah, I'm not saying Keith is Bernard, but you know,
Yeah.
when we talk about some of the smarter boxers in the game, we should talk about Keith Thurman.
Yeah.
And I guess overall, just like any other fan out there, the winner of this, would you rather see him face Keith, Crawford,
Both. Keith, I know that, you know, it's hard for me to put bias aside, but even when I do that, I still think that Keith Thurman has, with any of those top 3 guys, amazing fights. And, you know, the list goes on. There's no secret that Terence Crawford is the guy in a fight between Errol Yordenis and Terence Crawford will be amazing. Of course, we all been waiting on Errol Spence and Terence Crawford for a while. I would love to pepper in Keith Thurman. I think that those fights would be exciting too.
Yes. Thank you, Shawn.
Back to Batman.
Thank you, Shawn.
Yep.
Back to Batman talk.
They're gonna leave. He has to go back over
No problem. Getting set to step inside the ring as he squares off against Errol Spence Jr. on Saturday. At 96 Pacific time, preceding the pay-per-view, a doubleheader. Brandon Lee matching up against NBA show also welterweight championship are there between Santiago and Imantas Tigres, followed by the pay-per-view. Tickets still available at SeatGeek.com. The official ticketing partner of AT&T Stadium, Arlington, Texas. Yordenis Ugas in the ring, getting set. Even though the can't be past that black line.
Vamos ya. Eddie, pon el tiempo ahí, Eddie. Un asalto, luego hacemos el asalto. Se van a la derecha, izquierda. ponle los guantes. Ya, Eric, gracias. Eric, cógeme la manopla mía allí.
¿La nueva?
La de Joyce. Esa está ahí, mírala ahí. Terminó la pelea muy rápido. El tío mío. Déjamelo para yo trabajar con él.
Rest.
Caballito ahora. Mueve. Vamos. Termina como... Vamos, saca la cabeza. Tira de la derecha, te tiro izquierda y me mete. Ya. No se puede enseñar. ¿Quiere más? Entonces, pame derecha. Pame derecha, tiro izquierda. Derecha, sube izquierda, derecha. Mete derecha, segundo. Tiro izquierda, va a meter open. Y el volado.
No quería más. No se pueden dar los códigos. No se pueden dar los códigos. Yo no quería más.
Mete su izquierda. Sube el codo derecho. La derecha. Sí. Ya. Ya. Y termina con el gancho. Pasadores. Métete para abajo. Ya suavecito para que después termine.
¿Cuál vaso?
¿La viste? Sí. No, suavecito. Un minuto, un minuto solamente. Solo. Sí, sí. Uno solo y ya de ahí te va para la ¿Preparado?
2 minutos. 3. Vamos, preparados. Tiempo.
Me patria vida ahí.
segundos.
Ya, ahora quítate eso, ponte el pullover y ya la suiza.
Muerte sino patria vida.
Gracias, men. Dale eso a Cotomi. ¿Dónde está
Ya
Cotomi?
traté un par de veces, me lo voy a llevar, no lo quieren, no lo quieren. Dice, you no want to receive free.
What's up, Brian? Congrats on the knockout, man.
I appreciate you, man.
Good to see you,
Appreciate you.
Hope to catch up with you after this, bro.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Are you
Yeah.
sparring Ugás?
No, Ugas, just sparring southpaws and stuff. But,
Right.
But yeah, just always still here to support and everything.
Right.
And then, but no, man, you know, let him have his moment.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, you know how it is, bro.
Beautiful uppercut, though, bro.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
That's a little sneaky thing I've had over the years, but didn't use it too much. But, you know, you had to bring out the big guns, man, trying to make a statement every time out now. And this was one of them, man, on the way.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Has Ugás ever been down? Has anyone ever dropped? Oh, Jamal James? But he beat Jamal James, right?
Yeah. No, he's won all these fights.
Yeah.
There's just ones like that. I don't think more decent than that face. Yo te la preparo y mañana he gets off the deck and
Like Juan Manuel Marquez back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah, with the Jamal James one, I think they were like, they kept hitting people, like hitting each other after the back. Something like that, like trying to. Yo me lo pongo en cuando Ugás termina,
Dale 5 más y ya nos vamos para los de la prensa. Coge.
Marcos, do you speak Spanish? I want to ask him why he loves this song so much. But he's working.
Ray, I'm gonna bring him over there, knock him out, because I'm gonna bring him back over here.
That's fine. Vamos con Ray.
And then uno, and then come back. And then do all these. Okay, go. Yeah, after that, we'll come back. Then I'll bring him back in for all you media guys. Alright? Showtime has to leave, that's why I'm taking him over there real quick.
That fight is
And we are
Alright guys, I gotta stay over here to keep our spot to talk to Yordenis, so he's over there talking with Showtime, but we're gonna have to hold it down over where the designated spot's at to talk to him, so let's just keep it tight.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, they were going off, bro. Some fans just pulled up. Even after the main event, bro, started to clear out. Yeah, they're right up front. Yeah, bro, they were hype, bro. It was actually one of those fans that I got that angle uppercut from. Okay. Oh, really? Yeah, that's you? Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, that's how I got that angle. Yeah, I know.
He looks like beyond us. The fight with Valdez, I looked at him, he looked the same, but I thought it was open still. Like, some people take longer. But another year after, he had that.
Got it, bro?
I'll just put it over there for now. Thanks, guys.
Sir.
It's only like 31, it's not like he's
It's just more wars, but he went like there's a lot of people keep saying that it could be that he just spent too much time at the 30.
Yeah. Spent all this making that way.
It's possible, bro, because once you outgrow it and you're forced yourself to make it, that shit because like making weight's hard enough as it is, bro. Like you add like these bodies outgrown as well. It does that
I think those types of guys when they're awesome so much money, stay defending the title. Unless you're really like high A side, like if like Shifor Stevenson, that's weight, you're above and boom, you're already up. But he never had like that, you know, that type of push behind him.
Hey, Salas, when does Tanaka come in? When does Jose Tanaka come in? What days does he train?
Today no training. Today day off.
Yeah.
But he soon he will go back to
Japan? Is it okay if I see him before he leaves to Japan?
I will let you know.
Yeah, I'll ask you on text.
I don't know his flight.
Yeah.
He's supposed to fly in this week.
Okay.
Fly back to Japan.
Okay, he's a good fighter.
Yeah.
He's a very good fighter.
Division world champion.
Yeah. So that it goes without saying. Yeah.
He fought with one of the fighters.
Ioka? Yeah, that was a good fight. He lost, but he did a good performance.
That's why he came to us.
Right. He's like, you know what? I want to win. I want to win this kind of fight next time. So, no, but he's good. He's a good fighter.
Japanese, they are very brave.
But they're becoming more explosive. Before, they always had great stamina, but now
But they missing kind of difference. Is it what we working now?
Yeah.
You know, because he's a great fighter. He did many round sparring here with even Andy Dominguez, with Kaipo, with Ariel.
Con Ariel, he's sparring con Ariel, Kaipo, con Andy. Very good sparring. That guy, you should just check out that guy's footwork, man.
Tanaka, he's explosive, man.
Oh my goodness.
He has good combinations.
Yeah,
And they're great guys. They're great guys. Very polite.
They're all about honor, right?
Yeah, very. You feel it.
Yeah,
you feel it. Man.
Super disciplined.
Whatever you say, no problem.
Whatever you say, coach. Yeah, that's their culture, right?
Yeah, very respectful, very everything.
Yeah.
¿Oh, sí? ¿Sabes a quién conocido? A tu hermana todavía no la he conocido. ¿Karen? Sí, yo he hablado con ella. Sí, yo le dije. Ajá, pero en persona no.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. That's why I was mad that fucking.
Tiene que la ley para cualquier otra persona.
Ella lo hace. Ah, sí. Como hey, try to sound like nice. Es porque la hermana y su ellos tienen una conversación no pueden hablar. Y utilizan a otra persona, una pesadilla. Al revés, es bien entregado.
Y lo deprecian, muchas personas lo deprecian. Pero la familia es uno más, la familia.
Eso es
uno más.
Lo tienen que traer al gimnasio.
Sí, no, otro día. Te enseñaron una foto.
Tú tienes mi número,
No creo.
Esa cabina que da con sonido no tiene. Bro, ese es la versión pequeñita de Luis, ¿no?
Sí. Pero tú sabes, una chulería ese nene, man.
Yeah, man.
Es una chulería, man.
No, it's just some of the schedule.
Realmente yo vamos a ver cuando peleo, pero debe haber una fecha como en mayo. En mayo yo quería pelear abril y mayo, pero sí, con 30 yo sé que no lo puedo hacer, por lo menos ahora.
algo profesional, tienes que pelear un peso que tú hagas más o menos bien.
Sí, siempre va a ser, siempre tienes que hacer el esfuerzo de bajar.
Pero no te puedes pasar.
Pero no te puedes bajar hasta el punto de completamente. Por ejemplo, yo soy bien disciplinado en mi nutrición.
Tiene que tener.
Ya puedo, dígame si puedo cambiar.
Oh, que he's gonna change the clothes.
Okay, change. That's fine. Go, 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 go.
And then Errol Spence Jr. It was about a 6-month period when you fought both
Pero
guys back
el tuyo va a ser el Marcelino o Eric.
in September of
Does he want to go change?
Yeah.
Up to you. Go ahead. Go. He's gonna change real quick, and then we're gonna knock out these interviews, all right? Yeah, he's just gonna change.
¿Tú haces mi traductor?
No, no.
¿Tú haces mi traductor? Sí. ¿Puedes decirle exactamente lo que yo digo?
Ok.
Yo voy a hablar poco para que tú. Yo voy a hablar poco para que tú.
Y yo hablo poco también.
Lo que tú dices. Voy a hablar poco para que tú digas lo que yo digo exactamente.
All right, so what we're gonna do is that's gonna have him stand right here, and then Eddie will translate. So, just everybody, if you guys want to stand right here on this side. All right, Ugás, stand back just a little bit, right here on the yellow. Good, right here. Okay, go ahead, guys, shoot away. Ellie, start.
Okay, Yordenis, we're let's say less than a month away. What could we expect on fight night? You and Errol Spence.
Menos de un mes tratar de pelear. ¿Qué tú crees? ¿Qué tú piensas que va a pasar?
No, estoy emocionado, trabajando duro por estar aquí a 16 y sí, una gran noche de boxeo, una gran pelea.
He's good, he's very happy, he's emotional, he's feeling great, and April 16th, we're going to see the best of Yordenis Ugas.
What do you think is being underrated or overlooked about you heading into this fight, Yordenis, as a fighter?
¿Tú piensas que la gente se tiene underrated, como no rankeado bien como en la mente de los boxeadores?
No, a mí no me importa eso, yo sigo trabajando, para mí es insignificante.
He don't care about that, that's insignificant to him, he just fights.
Are you the strongest welterweight that Spence is going to be going up against? You know, Danny Garcia moved up from 40, Mikey 140. You're taller than Shawn Porter, and Brooke, after the Golovkin fight, wasn't fresh. Is he the strongest, freshest welterweight Spence will be going up against yet?
¿Tú piensas que tú eres el más 147, el más fuerte que va a pelear con Errol Spence?
No, peleó contra Porte, yo contra Brooke. Yo pienso que soy uno de los peleadores más grandes que va a pelear y un campeón también. Se viene de una gran victoria y soy un guerrero.
He's a warrior. You know, he fought. Spence has fought with other good fighters that are very strong as well. Porter, Garcia. So you know, he's just ready to go.
And Salas says the style you come from with Santiago is a beautiful style. It's different than the other styles from Cuba. How would you describe the Santiago style?
Que dice que tu estilo es de Santiago de Cuba. ¿Cómo tú puedes hablar de tu estilo?
Sí, nací vengo de una ciudad que hay muchos peleadores buenos. Son mi entrenador también de esa parte del país. Y sí, tenemos un estilo bastante, hay buenos peleadores, da buenos peleadores esa zona.
He comes from a place, the Santiago de Cuba, where they're the best trainers and the best coaches, so he learned a lot.
Why is it that style is less movement and more toe-to-toe?
¿Por qué tú piensas ese estilo es menos movimiento y más pegador? Más pelear.
No, he sido así desde pequeño, nunca he sido de tanto movimiento, siempre he peleado cerca y por eso siempre trato de darla, siempre doy pelea a todo el estilo.
Yeah, that style that he fights is very offensive, so that's why he always gives a good fight for people to watch.
You know, he's going to be facing Errol Spence for practically almost undisputed when he fought Manny Pacquiao. What fight is bigger? Is it the belt or was it the fight of legend like Manny Pacquiao?
¿Qué tú piensas que la pelea de Pacquiao y de esta pelea eran por muchos cinturones? ¿Cuál tú crees es más grande? ¿La pelea de Pacquiao o de Errol Spence?
Pacquiao siempre va a ser una leyenda, va a ser uno de los mejores peleadores de la historia. Con Spence tengo los cinturones, pero sí, las dos peleas están buenas.
So yeah, he does see the both fight being in a great fight. Manny Pacquiao is a warrior. the greatest champion, one of the greatest champions
I'm
ever.
one of them. I'm one of them. I'm
And Errol
not gonna lie to
Spence
you. I'm one of
is
them.
also a good champion.
Well, Sean Porter said you.
More important is it the
¿No hay algo más importante para ti o?
No, el parqueado fue bien importante también.
I love that attitude. So you're saying.
Yeah, it was an honor to fight with Manny Pacquiao. So he feels that, you know, with Manny Pacquiao,
Because you and I are friends.
it was big.
Forget about that.
Champ,
We're
in
friends.
regards to the Manny Pacquiao fight, what are the adjustments you have to make in order to beat Errol Spence come fight night April 16th?
¿Qué son las cosas que tú tienes que
Okay, all right. He's gonna go to Hollywood now. Showtime,
Bueno,
Shawn.
vamos a pelear con un peleador un poco más grande, más joven.
Cleveland's finest, ladies
Pero
and
soy
gentlemen,
un
numbers
peleador,
Las Vegas.
soy un competidor de los 6 años, estoy compitiendo y esa noche voy a hacer lo que tenga que hacer para buscar la victoria.
No, he
Puedo
said
hacer.
he's going to do everything he has to do to get the dub, you know? So that's what it is.
Do you think
You like being the underdog. Every fight, you're the underdog.
¿Te gusta ser el underdog? Como el lado B.
No, he estado varias veces aquí, Porte, Pacquiao, cuando regresé en el 2016, siempre lo hago bien, bien
He said
significante.
he just has good luck with fighting the better fighters. You know, it's just been that way for him for the past 6 years.
What do you like about Salas?
¿Qué te gusta mucho de Sala?
Es el líder de mi entrenamiento, es un entrenador con mucha sabiduría y los dos estamos juntos aquí por mi talento y por su sabiduría. Un equipo.
We're a team, you know. He's very close with Salas. He's been working with Salas for a long time, and you know, he's ready to go.
Ultimately, is the goal to become undisputed?
Tú lo que quieres hacer es undisputed. Tú quieres hacer eso es tu plan.
El ganador que el ganador de Arby 16, que continúe para pelear el indiscutido. Si soy yo, eso es lo que quiero hacer.
He said if it's him, that's what he wants to do. He wants to fight for all the belts.
What do you remember or can remember about your fights with Crawford in the amateurs?
¿Qué te recuerda cuando tú peleaste con Crawford en Amateo? ¿No te recuerda nada de esa pelea?
No, una gran pelea, siempre me acuerdo. Una gran pelea, 27-10. Siempre supe que iba a ser un gran peleador.
Yeah, and he knew back then when he fought him that he was going to be a great fighter, but it was a great fight for him.
Does he kind of understand where Crawford's where he's coming from? Like he's with Top Rank, he's not able to get the big fights he's wanted. You've been there before. Do you kind of understand where he's coming from? Yeah.
¿Tú sientes de dónde viene Crawford? Porque Crawford no está con la compañía PBC, él está con Top Rank. ¿Y tú sientes como él es difícil de encontrar una pelea?
No, él es agente libre ahora mismo. Pienso que va a encontrar la pelea que desee, si el agente libre.
Yeah, he's one of the best at 147, so, you know.
If you win, do you give him the opportunity then?
Tú ganas, tú le vas a dar la oportunidad.
Sí, yo gano eso lo que quiero hacer, continuar para el indiscutido, pero...
Yeah, that's what he wants to do. You know, if he wins this fight, he wants to go for undisputed.
Are you as hungry now as you were before the Pacquiao fight? Es decir, ¿tienes la misma hambre de antes de la pelea con Pacquiao o sientes más hambre o cómo sientes?
No, ahora tengo más responsabilidad, con mi familia, con mi equipo, con mi comunidad. Sabes que soy un peleador, un activista de la comunidad y ahora tengo mucha más responsabilidad que antes.
Champ, in regards to working with world-renowned trainer Ismail
I think he feels more responsibility to his family and to his team after he won that fight to keep, working hard in the gym and doing better.
Thanks, man.
Para esta pelea. ¿Cuáles son los ajustes que tú preparaste con Sala?
No, como te digo, mi entrenador, mucha sabiduría, el líder de mi entrenamiento, da sabiduría todos los días y eso es lo que estamos siguiendo a él.
That's what he does. Give him the strength and power to win this fight.
You'll get the credit. Obviously, this is post the injuries of Errol Spence. He beat Spence. Do you think that Spence would give you the credit as if some people would say?
¿Tú crees que si tú le ganas a Spence, los fanáticos te van a dar crédito porque Spence tiene los ojos malos? ¿Cómo tú piensas eso?
Yo estoy esperando el mejor Spence y lo mío es pelear fuerte, lo mío es pelear contra los mejores, es lo que estoy haciendo, no importa lo que piense.
He's fighting with the best version of Spence. He feels like he's fighting with the best, so that's where he feels that.
How does he rank the top 5 147 pounders? Who's 1 through 5?
¿Cómo tú piensas en el peso 147? ¿Quiénes son los mejores? Los 5 mejores que tú piensas.
Yeah, top 5. 1, 2, 3, 5.
2 5. No.
Okay, 3. 3. Okay.
¿no? Crawford, Spence, Ugas. No importa.
Crawford, Spence, and Ugás in any order that you like.
In any order. A fight with you and Spence, obviously a major fight. Winner has 3 belts. And then if you fight Crawford, how big of a fight is that? Is it fácil, no fácil?
¿Tú piensas que si tú ganas esta pelea, tú vas a tener 3 cinturones? ¿Tú piensas que la pelea con Crawford será difícil?
No, pienso que va a ser fácil.
No, he thinks it'll be easy.
¿Por qué?
Yo peleo siempre con el mejor, siempre peleo con el que mejor está disponible y él es mejor, o sea, no creo.
He's always fought the best available, and he's the best that's going to be available, so yeah.
Me estoy enfocado en abril 16.
But he's focused on April 16th.
And lastly, Yordenis.
There was a mandatory for the IBF, Duran Ennis, and he's going to be fighting on the undercard. If he gets past that opponent, would you also interfere in Duran Ennis fight this time?
Yeah, si tú ganas la pelea con Spence, ¿te gustaría pelear con el nuevo que le ganó a Errol?
Ennis. El mandatorio.
Me gustaría ver el indiscutido. De todas formas, estoy enfocado en abril 16 y estoy enfocado en abril 16.
He's focused on April 16th. That's all he wants to think about. That's all he's worried about right now.
And Yordenis, is your power the kind of power that's just enough to get the respect and the space you need, or do you feel you have the power that a knockout's possible in this fight?
Tú piensas que tú tienes una buena pegada, pero la pegada tuya, tú piensas que él te va a tener respeto o tú crees que con tu poder tú lo puedas terminar, tú lo puedas acabar.
No, yo siempre pego bien el cuerpo, pego bien. De todas formas, yo vengo a pelear 12 rounds fuertes.
He's ready to fight 12 rounds strong. He's ready to go.
Salas is going to answer a couple questions and then.
Gracias, Yordenis. Gracias. Ismail, you know, for yourself, man, like you were trainer of the year in '96 and in the very low weight classes, training multiple world champions. But what's it like for you all these decades and now the big fights in America, you know, Cowboy Stadium, MGM Grand, just that long journey to get here? What's this like for you, Ismail?
Yeah, for me, it's another day at the office, what I say always. Always, you know, boxing is challenging sport, very challenging sport. So to go through the big fight, this level fight in the Cowboy Stadium, we did, if I remember right, for Manny Pacquiao, let's say like a 92 round. All together, 12 round. This is boxing, but we have to be ready to fight 12 rounds. Don't forget. We will fight someone with very natural strength.
Is he not as strong his last couple fights at 147 though, Spence? Like he needs to move up, or is he?
Yeah, I believe because he's growing. He's growing, and I believe what I saw in the face-off. We went to Dallas. He's in that time I guess he was like 168 somewhere around in my personal view. So to come down to 147 is a big deal, you know. But anyway, I hope, because he may win. I need the fight, no matter what.
But the stuff like that matters in a big fight, right? You know, struggling to make weight, not fighting as often as Ugás.
Okay, I can tell you one more thing. Before what I say, you know, every fighter, they have their own way. He's a natural, strong guy, natural. That's why made Errol Spence Jr. so unique and so solid. He's really very strong. This is something we've been taking care of. We watching how he uses his own strength during the fight, mental strength, physical strength, and timing. He's not the big puncher, but if he hit you in the right time, you will go down.
I wanted to go back. You said that you hope that Spence makes the weight so that you guys can fight. If there is a weight discrepancy or it didn't make the weight, would you cancel the fight or restart?
No.
You would still fight?
He had to pay for it.
Oh, so fight goes on.
But yeah, money talk. Money talk. But for real, if he can make his weight, more than happy for us, because this team he been working so hard to make 147. He's a big tall guy. So
Do you love his fundamentals? Because this is the house of fundamentals. Do you like Spence's fundamentals?
Yeah, he's the guy. He's solid. He's nothing to take away from him. Not same way we are, because the background is different. But as American boxing style, he's a very solid guy.
Is Ugas more tricky?
Yeah, Ugás is the fundamental is wider. Because don't forget, Spencer went to Olympics. Yes. What he did? Nothing. Ugás went to Olympics. Yes. What Ugás did? Bronze medal. Ugás was Pan American Game champion, amateur world champion. Spencer? No. But professional and amateur? No, it's not the same. And the success of Spencer being wider than Ugás in professional.
Well, and Ugas beat Crawford in the amateurs too.
Yes, yes. So Ugás in the fundamental of Cubans, they've been fighting all around the world. They've been fighting different levels, World Championship, Junior, World Championship, Pan American, Central American, Olympic. So
why do the Americans struggle with the Cuban style? What is it about the style matchup?
In amateur?
Yeah, amateurs and I guess pros too.
Because if you see the Cuban fighter, they have a system from the very young age to the top Olympics level, no? And they persist more during all this system. The American fighter, they have different system. They're sometimes going before they can reach the top of amateur, they go to professional.
Like Devin Haney.
Yeah, yes, like that.
Right.
And the Cuban guy, they have to be there until it's the maximum they can get. So they have to be in the system.
Coming to this fight, Yordenis says that this is the best version of Errol Spence that we'll see in this fight that you'll be facing. Do you feel this will be the best version of Errol Spence? Some fans might say he was in an accident and maybe not the best version. Do you feel this is the best version of Errol Spence?
We hope so. We hope so. But really, my personal view, really personal, nothing to take away from him. He was not the same guy he fought with Champ Porter to the same guy fought with Danny Garcia. Something missing. He was missing something there. The time with Champ Porter was the errorless, the version we saw from the start. So that's why he beat everyone. With Danny Garcia, he was not to the top. For the reason I don't know.
Is it the speed or the power, or is it maybe?
Yeah, it's something was missing there. Maybe the fire.
Or the weight.
Maybe it can be the weight. There are many reasons, no? But I really hope he bring all the best from him, and we can give to the all the world best of the fight. Is a 147, very classic weight class.
Salas, last one for me. If Ugas can win, what would Crawford versus Ugas look like in the ring?
Man, I believe, and I always try to teach all my fighters, try to look what we have for tomorrow. After that, we have to think in 3 days' time. So we cannot chew a little bit, bite, and then we lost the big cake.
Absolutely.
Just get the big cake for 1 day, and the next day you plan for it.
We had to try.
Yeah.
Thank you, Salas.
Okay, no
Thank you. Good. Muchas gracias, Salas.
No problem.
Thank you. Okay, everybody. I believe that's about it for today. I hope everyone enjoyed this live. Keep it locked in on FightHype. Much love to everybody. Take care, guys. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you threw a bullet of a right uppercut, man. It hit him like a gunshot over the weekend. How was that knockout, man, for you to get in the mix of things, to get in the world title run? What do you think that knockout did for you? And
I think it did exactly what it needed to do. You know, I had to show everybody that there's a lot I have to prove, a lot I have to show still, and we had to make a statement with that one. I had to, that uppercut, man, that came from hell. I dropped the guy a couple times. He wouldn't stay down, so I was like, all right, man, I'm gonna unload something. Like you said, a bullet, but yeah, La Bala with that one, we had to unload that and got the fight done. And everybody's happy, you know, the people behind the scenes are happy, the fans are happy, everything. So I think it paid off, and we should have something big lined up, and I have even more to prove next time out.
You know, kind of stepping outside of yourself, like assessing yourself, would you just say you're a guy who has the talent and just needs to put it together? Is that...
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. There was always like a missing piece, you know, like this or that. And of course, millions of excuses, you know, at certain times, like whatever, but there is no excuses. We're always learning, and that's it, you know, just grinding. I feel like now I have the complete team. I have Salas leading the way, Salas Boxing Academy for all the boxing, the technique and everything. I have Tony Brady, been murdering me, the strength and conditioning coach, man. Took me to new levels, pushed my limits.
Did he make you puke?
Almost.
No, you're in good shape. So
yeah. I've gotten really close. I've gotten dizzy. I've gotten almost puked. Like he's pushed me to my limits for sure. And then I have Bob Santos too helping outside. Like I've built an amazing team, and now I feel like it's right time, right place, and now the talent can be put to use.
Now you told me while Yordenis was training, not sparring with him this camp because he's sparring southpaws. But have you sparred with him in the past to get him ready?
Tons. He's actually the first person that kind of gave me a shot out here, you know, to spar, so Alex could see me and everything. And I've gotten tons of work with him. I was in his main sparring when he fought Shawn Porter, and then a bunch of cards just on his way up.
What's underrated maybe or overlooked about him? Because obviously, just like Pacquiao, he's the underdog again.
Yeah. With him, it's just everything, man. He is a southpaw killer. You have to remember that for this fight.
Is that because there's a lot of southpaws in Cuba?
I don't know what it is.
I heard that. I don't know
yeah, no, there is for sure. And then I don't know if maybe that's what it is, but he has something special when it comes to southpaws. He's really just, you know, the way his punches are thrown, even on right-handers, he uses angles that are meant for southpaws and just a bunch of different stuff. So when he's fighting a southpaw, it really shows out. And no, it's just with him, the thing I guess people sleep on is more like his angles. Like it looks like he trades a lot and everything, but even when he's in the pocket, he's giving you little angles and cracking you with his shots and not getting hit back so much.
It looks like it's about making you miss by just an inch with him, but he wants to be right in your face after.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. He's not the type of dude to make you miss and then, you know, down to off or anything like that. Like he's make you miss, make you pay.
He doesn't want to give that space.
Absolutely not.
Right.
He wants to take that space every minute of the fight.
How do you think that plays out with Errol Spence, a guy who usually that's what he's doing?
Yeah.
He's the one walking you down.
Yeah. It's going to be a battle of wills for sure. Yeah. A battle of wills for sure, but then I think that's where Ugas' angles come in too, because they are going to be fighting for that battleground, but Ugas he'll throw some angles in there. Like he might he might take a step back. He might, you know, take those steps forward. Ugas will make a lot of adjustments, and then I really feel like he can pull this one off.
12 knockouts and 27 wins for Yordenis. So on paper, not a big puncher, but what says you, a man who actually shared the ring with him?
It's those guys, but you know, it's boxing. It's a fight, and he might not be the biggest puncher, but you better respect his power.
It's enough to.
Yeah, these aren't shots you walk through. You definitely respect him, and then that's what I just wouldn't recommend sleeping on his shots ever.
And not power, but the physical strength. He looks like a strong guy. And how does that actually matter in a fight?
I've actually heard a referee tell Ugas, like, they freaked out because they went to break him and they couldn't move Ugas. Like, he's so planted in the ground when he does not want to move. And same thing, I'm bigger than him, even now since I've gone up to 154. I'll hit him with some huge, heavy shots and he moves just a little bit. Like, his balance is amazing. That's another thing people sleep on. But his physical is actually, like, you're right to bring that up. It's one of his biggest attributes, all around, actually.
So do you feel like he's going to pull this thing off?
I really do.
Not just because he's your gym mate.
No, because, you know, with Pacquiao, it was very like man, that's Pacquiao, like, and the volume and everything. But I feel like if he was able to neutralize a guy like Pacquiao, a guy that they're saying is old, but he didn't look old until he met Ugas. I just feel like the whole thing, you know, the storm coming together, southpaw for Ugas. The styles match up well, and the right timing. You know, I believe Ugás is truly at his peak right now.
I really feel like he can pull it off, man, honestly, and not just because he's a teammate.
Yeah. Is there certain X factors leading his way? Like, he's been more active than Spence. Spence hasn't been able to get in the ring. And is it possible he's making weight better than Spence?
Yeah. The weight's always amazing. Ugas is always shredded, ready to go, in shape. I feel like all those X factors are playing a role for Ugas, because the questions you have about Spence are like more negative questions. You know, like is he cool after everything that happened? Is he like still making weight good? Is he this and that? But with Ugas, all the questions are like, is he really in his prime? Is he really this good with southpaw? Like, they're all more positive like questions. So I feel like all the X factors, the physical strength, everything is leaning a little towards Ugas, and it's still a long shot. I know I'm making it sound easy, but I really am pulling for him here.
And lastly, Brian, knowing that obviously you're Cuban American and active in the Cuban community, do you get the sense that if he could win this fight, you guys could have your first real pay-per-view fighter? We've had world champions in America, but no one's been able to be that a pay-per-view fighter.
Yeah, like Mayweather said it years ago, and that always kind of stuck, that or everybody would talk about it, like Mayweather was able to become such a star because he had the rivals. It's not really just who you are, like were you able to get those rivals? A guy like Andre Ward, he didn't have enough of those big name rivals. He had Kovalev towards the end, but I feel like Ugas is getting those rivals. He's had so many key names on his resume. You got a guy like Pacquiao, and now Spence. That Spence is a big name in himself. There's so much going for him. There's nothing to lose. I really think.
Are they taking to him? Like, does he have that support? Or he's about to get it if he could keep like.
Yeah, within the Cuban community, yes, for sure. And then outside, we're seeing it. He's always had more fans than the average Cuban, because he doesn't have just a hit and run type of style. He's trying to box off.
Right.
He's there to fight, so he's there to entertain. That's entertaining Mexicans, Argentinians, all Latinos, all around, Americans, everybody. He entertains everybody. He's humble, and I feel like he can do that. He's very shy, so I know I'm hyping him up so much, I'll say something negative. He's very shy.
He's very shy. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, just to say something.
Still isn't really negative, but go ahead.
Yeah, for real. But no, I really do. And fights like this would do it. If you can pull off these wins against these types of rivals and opponents, then yeah, I feel like you can definitely break into superstardom.
And when you get back in the ring, you feel, Brian, you just got a knockout a couple days ago, but when do you think you'll be able to get back in there, man?
ASAP. I'm another guy that I live in the gym. I'm gonna take a couple of days off or whatever, but I'm hoping to, especially with the PBC model, people don't fight as often, but if I can get at least 2 fights in this year before the year's out, I'd be extremely happy. So whenever we're ready, and then this summer or anything, we're ready.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
Good catching up with you, man.
Likewise.
Thank you. Thanks, brother. Good talking with you, man. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Okay, seriously this time. That looks like that's about it. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Much love.